Hi everyone, welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible in order to put together the prophecy of Israel, which became the book of Zion, a self-fulfilling prophecy about itself. The book of Zion is about the book of Zion, literally. And today and of course, I had to write the Potsmoker's Bible as a commentary in order to publish the Book of Zion because it's written entirely in Bible verse. And today I'm reading the final part of the 17th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible, which is the actual 14th chapter of the Book of Zion called My People's Transgressions. I won't be reading to you line and verse. That just breaks up the content. You need to hear this without that stuff in there. So, now I'm going to read to you chapter 14, Book of Zion, My People's Transgressions. The punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed upon her. Her Zionites were purer than snow, they were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was as of sapphires. Their vistage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up the voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sin. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, and forsook not the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Therefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Behold, you fast for strife and for debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Is it such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast, and an acceptable day of the Lord? Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bonds of wickedness, and to undo the heavy burden, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that you bring the poor that are cast out into your houses? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh? Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, and continue until night, till wine inflame them, and the harp, and the viol, and the tabret, and wine, and pipe, and wine, are in their feasts. But they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and the multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell has enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. And the mean man shall be bowed down, and the mighty man shall be humbled. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet, therefore the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughter of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cowls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets, and the mufflers, the bonnets, and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, the mantle and the whipples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the linens and the hooks and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet there shall be stink, and instead of a girding a rent, and instead of well dressed hair baldness, and instead of a stomacher a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she, being desolate, shall sit on the ground. Yet now hear Jacob my servant, and Israel whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord, that hath made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jerusalem, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. And I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessings upon thy offspring. And they shall spring up among the grass, as willows by the watercourses, and shall say to one another, I am the Lord's. And another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of the heavens. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive nor reprove another, for thy people are as they that strive with the priests. Therefore thou shalt fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee, and in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. And as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I turn again their glory into shame. They eat up the sins of my people, and set their heart on their iniquity. And there shall be like people and like priests, and I will punish them for their ways, and reward them their doings. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all ye remnants of the house of Israel, which are born of me from the belly, which are carried in the womb. And even in your old age I am he, and even to hair's horse will I carry you. I have made, and I will bear, even I will carry, and will deliver you. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that has gone out of my mouth. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of your paths. The Lord standeth up to plead, and standeth up to judge the people. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people, and all princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. What mean ye? That you beat my people to pieces, and grind the faces of the poor, saith the Lord. I will gather them that are sorrowful for a solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that has been driven out, and I will give them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And at that time I will bring you again, even in that time I will gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. The people who walk in darkness hath seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. Thou hast multiplied the nation, and not increased the joy. They joy before thee according to the joy of harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, and as in the day of midden. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And the Redeemer shall come into Zion, and to them that turn from transgressions in Jacob, saith the Lord. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith the Lord. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart from thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith the Lord, henceforth and forever. Thus ends the 17th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible, and more importantly, the 14th chapter of the book of Zion. Now, as you can see from this chapter, it gives a very apt description of the people of Zion. It describes our clothing. It describes our attitude towards society. It describes our creation. It describes our drug use, our parties. It describes the way we're treated by the government. It describes how our children are taught to turn on us, and that women have to be the breadwinners because the men have abandoned us. This is all prophecy. Remember, George Floyd died by having his face ground into the cement. That was in this chapter. How dare you grind the faces of the poor? God asks. Black Lives Matter is the uprising of Zion. It begins where the war on drugs began, in the black community and in the Hispanic community. Because these people are most often abused by the police state, and so they should have the right to be first amongst my people. They have, after all, suffered the most. Their entire American nationality is based on their suffering as Americans. And so I consider Black Lives Matter to be justice earned. Not just for those who march, but for those who are about to pay for those crimes. Because the presidency of Joe Biden's election does not change systemic racism in America. America will never be without racism. But that's okay, because Zion has never known racism, and it never will, which is what makes us different. So, while you're marching in the streets, remember, we have a future ahead of us. You're going somewhere. You're going camping with me, hopefully. Because if we go camping together, we can call upon the great, and they will come in answer to our call, keeping the ancient promise of the prophetic text. Call upon us, following these directions, and we will come, and we will save you, and we will teach you our ways, and we will make for you a glorious name and a glorious future. Imagine that. All those times that we have suffered at the hands of those who condemn us for our drug use. Imagine, in a moment, that changing. You'll go from being the low bags, kind of the earth big problem of America, we're in the world, and we're the shitbags. Yeah, right. To being the most honored people on earth. Honored not by humans, but by an alien race. Star Trek, here we come. May the Great watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. And may they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the inner going way. May you find your joy and pursue it. And grab a Bible while you're at it and read the Old Testament. Forget the New Testament. Just read the Old. I'm going to say later now. Stay happy and high. Love you guys. Later. Never say goodbye.